Yeah, please
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I would like to welcome all of you to 282 meeting of Speakers Den Toastmaster Club. My name is Toastmaster Lalita, and I'll be the sergeant at arms in today's meeting. In the beginning of our meeting, I would like to mention 3 ground rules that will follow during the course of this meeting. First, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Second, if you're not experiencing any bandwidth or technical issues, I would like to recommend that everyone turn on their videos. Since we are connected remotely, it would be fantastic to get to know everyone by face. Besides, it would also help all the speakers and role takers to know the audience reaction when they're on the virtual stage. If you're stepping out of the virtual meeting, please remember to turn off your video. Third, if you're using a virtual platform and make references to religion, sex, or politics, please keep in mind that these are sensitive topics. Take caution while adopting these elements. Your language and presentation should be considerate of others' feelings. As you're aware, everyone has a mission in life, and the mission. As you're aware, everyone has a mission in life. Similarly, our Toastmaster has a mission. Our Toastmaster mission is to provide mutually supportive environment so that each member of our club can develop their leadership and communication skills, which will help to boost their self-confidence and personal growth. Now, every meeting has a theme, and today's theme is very interesting. Change your breath and change your life. This theme explains how to use breathing techniques for anxiety relief and stress, breath exercises for mindfulness and self-care. Now let us welcome our presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Hashish. He's an extroverted introvert, IT engineer by profession, and a mystic lover. He likes to read, write, sing, act, and do stand-up comedy. He enjoys both trekking and underwater sea activities with his near and dear ones. He served as a treasurer, secretary, VP PR, and as a current VP Education of Speakers Den. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you, Lalita, for this warm introduction. Hopefully, I am audible and visible.
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, good morning to all of you. What a lovely day today. We are moving one day ahead and we are crossing many barriers and we have reached this today's meeting. First of all, a great thank you to all of you to take your precious time and join on this Sunday meeting. And I would like to congratulate our new members, Toastmaster Venkatesh and Toastmaster Belavan. It is a great step that you took to join our club and keep yourself improved day by day. But the guests, we have one guest today who is Surya SP. Surya, we just want to know few things about you, like how do you know about our club and what are your aspirations?
Yeah, Jalin sir, I can't hear you properly.
Yeah, Surya. We want to know like.
Hello.
Hello.
Your voice is not. Hello.
Am I not audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Ashish.
Hello. Wait a minute. Hello.
Hello. Am I audible now?
You can't hear you properly.
You're very clear to us, Saurabh. Sorry, Ashish.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, then meanwhile, for the time being, we can take the guest introduction a bit later as there are some technical connectivity issue. So for the benefit of guests and for all of our members, let me reiterate what Toastmaster is all about. It was all 97 years back. A man, Ralph Fitzmaurice, he had a dream that he want everyone to be a great communicator, a great leader. But what the ways? How can we achieve? How can we reach that milestone? Then the idea of Toastmasters came into his mind. The dream is so big that currently it is spreading around 143 countries in the world. And there are so many clubs under it. And fortunately, Speakers Den is one of the. And we have a rich heritage of producing great speakers, great leaders, TEDx speakers, and stand-up comedians too. One of our speaker, he himself do stand-up comedy. So if you want to take inspiration, if you want to take some goals in your life, if you want to move ahead, then don't forget, if you are a guest, to enroll yourself as a member. And if you are a member, don't forget to give your speeches and take your speech journey one step ahead. So this is all about Toastmaster and how it can help you to go ahead. Because it is one kind of platform. If you join some other meetings, for that meeting, you have to be experienced. You will feel like what the audience will feel if I don't give proper, if I don't represent myself in a proper way. But Toastmaster is not like that. Here we are to improve ourselves. Nobody is here to judge us. All are here to guide us, to make ourselves a better one. No one is competitor here. We are only our own competitor. So today's theme, change your breath and change your life. It is quite interesting one. When it is coming, change your breath. Different kinds of situations are coming into my mind. When you are before the exam timing, your heart will beat faster. It doesn't matter whether you have covered all the subjects or you have just covered 2 subjects to pass. But it is same feeling for all. For the topper who is in the class or for the backbenchers, although they are topper in some other ways. For all, the feeling is the same. Your breath will change. But the thing which matters, how that change of breath impacts you. Does that change of breath give you more confidence, or does that breath weakens you? If it is making you confident, then you will make your life better. But if it is making you weak, then downfall of your start. This is my assumption of today's theme. But we have one amazing host for today who is going to enlighten us on this beautiful topic. He is currently pursuing his final year engineering and currently working as an intern with a startup known as Elixir. He also has NCCC certificate and an active member of an NGO known as Fly Higher India, and he is also an UPSC aspirant. If I have any questions, like any role takers are not there, then he is my go-to person. He's always enthusiastic and always eager to take some roles and improve himself. So without wasting much time, let's welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sobhik. Toastmaster Sobhik, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashish, for such a warm welcome. What if I told you that there was an exercise that was so powerful that it can change the pH level of your blood? It can make it more acidic or more alkaline in minutes. If the same exercise could boost your digestion power, could lower your heart rate and your cholesterol level, and helps you to get good sleep at night, what if the same exercise practiced in a good manner can give you life experiences? Well, the exercise that I'm talking right now is what we all do every day. In fact, 24 hours, each and every minute and second. But we don't think about it. Good morning for my fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. My name is Toastmaster Sobhik, and I welcome you all to today's meeting. The theme of the meeting is change your breath and change your life. The exercise that I was talking about was breathing exercises. Well, if you perform these breathing exercises in proper manner, you could have various life-changing experiences, such as you can experience good digestive power. You could take control in your mind, your body, your respiratory system. But you know what? If you practice this breathing exercises in bad manners, you can have the negative side effects in the long run. Now, I want you guys to visualize a situation. For example, you are walking in an empty road, and you encounter a street dog. You look at him, he look at you, and he identifies you as a potential thief. What will be his first reaction, and what will be your reaction after seeing his reaction? Anyone? No responses? What will be that dog reaction after he identify you as a potential thief who has come to steal something from his place?
Wow, only the first text.
He may bark.
And what will be your response?
How fast we can run?
We run.
We will try to run.
Correct. This creates a panic situation. In this case, you have two options, whether to fight with that dog or fly away from the dog. And what do you do at that moment? You inhale, breathe, or you exhale, breathe. What do you do? Anyone? Any idea?
Hold the breath.
Sir, inhale, breathe, sir.
Correct. Inhale, breathe. So what does it do? It activates the sympathetic nervous system. That means either you can fight with that dog or you can run away to save your life. Now consider a second scenario. You have gone with on a date with your partner, and after having a good dinner and spending the entire day together, before leaving to your respective house, she says those three magical words: I love you. What will be your reaction? Toastmaster Ashish, if you could tell, because you're getting married the next month, what will be your reaction? You're mute. You're on mute.
My reaction will be whether she is telling to me or someone else.
She has
First
gone on date.
First I need to check whether anyone is there except me in that room.
Okay, so what on that time, what do? You inhale or you exhale?
We exhale, sir. Exhale the air.
I will just sleep because that's my dream, right? I will just no inhale, no exhale. My breath will stop for some time.
Well, you exhale that time. What do? You sit comfortably, you open your heart, and you fall in love. You can see that different breathing, the change in breathing. The first breathing technique, when you are in fear, you start breathing heavily. You start breathing fast. You are in a panic mode. And the second scenario, where you feel loved, where you feel comfortable, and your breathing pattern changes. It is slow. Now, we are so much stressed in today's life, stressed because of our work, our education, our career, our personal reasons, that we don't follow a good breathing technique, which creates a lot of negative impact on our life. I'd be sharing few breathing techniques which could help you to get your life back on track. But before that, let me welcome the general evaluators for today. A coach and a mentor to many Toastmasters. Toastmaster Saurav is the president and club sponsor of Gabby's Toastmaster. He's the incoming Division B director. Beyond Toastmaster, he's a leader, teacher, coach, trainer, and a visiting faculty at many institutes. An entrepreneur and the founder of Practive, a professional international keynote speaker, logophile, polymath, biker, master chef at home kitchen, but most importantly, Saurav is an incredible proud father of a 6-year-old warrior princess. Toastmaster Saurav.
Yeah, before Toastmaster Saurav begins, let me thank you, our upcoming Division B director, for attending to this meeting and making it more memorable one. And congratulations for your new role.
Thank you so much. Okay, so as the general evaluator for today's meeting, I will be evaluating the entire meeting right from the beginning till the end of the meeting. In fact, I've already started evaluating the meeting. I always feel that the general evaluator role in a Toastmasters meeting is one of the most misunderstood and one of the most overrated roles that we have. The general evaluator is considered to be the principal, the judge, and whatnot. I think none of this is true. In my humble opinion, a general evaluator is someone who's there to make some observations about some of the minute things about the meeting, which we, when we plan the meeting, generally overlook because there are so many things that we look after, right? So that's my role to bring to your attention some of the very smaller aspects of the meeting that you may have overlooked, and which surely something that you can work on before the next meeting. And for doing that, I will need a team that will work with me to help me watch over this entire meeting. The team consists of project evaluators and also a Taggle team. So in my team today, here I have a tag team though, not a Taggle team. So in my team today, I have the first member on my team is Toastmaster Velavan, who is playing the role of a timer. Toastmaster Velavan, can you please explain your role and also the timing protocols? And since the speeches today are of different lengths and levels, so probably you may want to give a little bit of more detail about the timing for the prepared speeches. It's not the standard 5 to 7 minute speeches is what I believe.
Good morning everyone. So as a timer, I will time the table topic speaker, formal speeches and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time that they have left using the green, yellow and red cards, which denote specific time remaining. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Most of the speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. For table topics, the table topic speeches should be between 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. There would be a 30-second buffer timing for which no additional card will be displayed. So hope this is clear.
Our second speaker is having 12 to 15 minutes probably.
Yes. So the timing protocols, I would request the evaluator to reiterate the timing protocols. It will be easier for the evaluators to kind of remind the timer, because the speeches are of various length. So also before the speech starts, I would request the speaker to confirm when they would want to see the green, yellow and red card for the respective speeches. That would make it easier for the timer to also show the cards in time. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Velavan, for taking up the timer role in Toastmasters in this meeting. Just as I said that the general evaluator role is one of the most overrated role in a Toastmasters meeting, I consider the timer's role to be one of the most underrated roles in a Toastmasters meeting. I think this is one of the most important, incredibly important role. We can do a meeting without a general evaluator. We can do a meeting without an accountant, a grammarian, and everyone. But we can never do a meeting without a timer. And yet, I think this is one role which needs a lot of servant leadership, and that's what is demonstrated by every timer in every time they take up a role in a Toastmaster meeting. So, I do think that our timer deserves a big round of applause even before he starts playing this role. So, please let us all appreciate Toastmaster Velavan for taking on the role of the timer in today's meeting. Thank you. So let's now move on to the next member on my tag team, which is our R counter. And our R counter for today is Toastmaster Duman.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, excuse me for joining the meeting late. The purpose of the R counter is to pay attention when any person is speaking in the meeting, and to note down many crutch words they use, such as or things like that, and prepare a report at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Toastmaster Duman would be watching out for our wrong usages of ferns and fillers, crutch, repeat words, pauses and fillers. Now, moving on to the most erudite member of my tag team, and that is our grammarian for today. Our grammarian for today is Toastmaster Simi Agarwal. Toastmaster Simi, over to you to please explain the grammarian's role and also introduce the word of the day. You're on mute, Toastmaster Simi. We would want to hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Loud and clear.
As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language uses. I'll take note of any misuses of English language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is mercurial, which means changing often or characterized by rapid and unpredictable changeableness of mood. One such example to be used is his mercurial and fickle temperament left him with few friends. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over to you, Toastmaster Sarah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simi, for explaining the grammarian role and also introducing the word of the day. May I also request you to put the word of the day in the chat box so that all speakers can use it. That's so, Toastmasters, that was my tag team. I would be back towards the end of the meeting when invited by the Toastmaster of the day for presenting the evaluation for today's meeting. And with this, I would hand over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Souvik, to take forward the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Souvik.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. Now coming back to the correct technique of breathing. So what we most do is breathe through our chest, which is the wrong way of breathing. We should always see to it that we breathe through our abdomen, lower abdominal. To do this, the best way is to lie down on a bed or floor and keep a pillow over your abdomen. And what you can do is take long breath through a nose and see that the pillow is going up and down. So this is the first technique. And the second technique that you can follow while you are in that fight or flight mode, where you are in panic situation, is that you can take a deep breath through your mouth, hold that breath for 5 to 8 seconds, and then release it through your nostrils. You can do that for 8 to 10 times, and you can see that your heart rate would automatically come down. And apart from all this, you can also practice pranayams, which are usually the breathing techniques. Different type of pranayams such as Kapal Bharti Pranayam, Shitali Pranayam, Brahmari Pranayam, Brastika Pranayam, Alom Vilom Pranayam. Now let's move to the first part of today's meeting, that is prepared speech. The first speaker is Toastmaster Shankhya, a management consultant by profession. Shankhya is a part-time theatre artist, was part of an improv comedy club conducting multiple live shows across Bangalore. He loves storytelling along with his FB page, Cafe Stories. But before that, I would like to call the evaluator to tell the objective of the speech. Toastmaster Kostov.
Thank you. Shankho is attempting a project from the humor path. The title of the project is Engage Your Audience with Humor. The purpose of the project is for the member to determine their style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kostov. Toastmaster Shankhya, would you like to do an audio video check?
Yeah, audio video check 1, 2, 3. Is it fine?
Yes, it is. Evaluator, can you please confirm? Okay. So the speech title for Toastmaster Shankhya is Examination. The examination, Toastmaster Shankhya.
Recently, I asked a friend, Do you know what is the most mysterious and fearful incident in one's life? After thinking, he confidently said, it's Achhe Din. I know Achhe Din might be scary sometimes, but the answer is examination. Achhe Din, if I translate in English, it will be good times, which was the tagline of Kingfisher, which already flew from the market along with Vijay Mallya. The government is trying to bring both Achhe Din and Vijay Mallya back to India, but let's not talk about politics and sex. Hashtag Kingfisher calendar. But examination is something which is impacting our life more than Achhe Din. It's like an uninvited guest coming to our lives in different shapes and sizes, starting from the school life, like biology. Biology entered my life like a love guru and taught me about various hormones which makes us attracted towards the opposite sex. Yeah, those two culprits, testosterone and estrogen. And I just started falling in love, thinking it's my birthright, as my biological clock was ticking in the biology class. Immediately, maths came like a next door neighbor uncle with a bald head wearing lungi tied up to the chest and said, falling in love, huh? Okay, now find X. But uncle, I am yet to fall in love. How can I find X? Acha. Now you started arguing with elders, huh? As if I don't know from which angle you are looking at Angel Priya. Now take out your geometry box and find out that angle. And let me see if protector can protect you now. And don't give me that, what are you saying, uncle, type of look. Your probability of anyway finding the answer is 0. And that's not the end. As if this is a Friday fun activity going on in the corporate, geography came like a HR dressed in ethnic sari and asked, now draw the political map of different countries. Remember, this will come in the exam. Are countries are still fighting with each other on defining the correct political map, and you are asking the innocent students. But it's a matter of marks. So innocently, I started drawing, and to impress the examiner for the extra 2 marks for neatness, even started coloring inside. Red, yellow, blue, whatever color is available. Later on, I came to know that these coloring and drawing activities in corporate are called Rangoli by the HR, and our appraisal depends on that. Later on, as I grew, after board exam results were declared, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I discovered post-exams first law, that along with marks, we also need a friend who scored less than you. Later on, I realized I was that friend who everybody was looking for. Even I started getting special invite from different friends to visit their houses for sweets in exchange of my mark sheet. My mark sheet created a benchmark in the industry. Above it, good, very good. Below it, nobody was below it actually. My motto in life was very philosophical, inspired from Facebook. Marks is not the only thing in life, as long as your parents don't beat you. But anyway, from the bottom of my heart, I hate numbers. But numbers and X had a one-sided affair with me. They never left me. In college, I faced the next biggest exam. Now, this time, the exam is more tougher than my previous board exam because this is an oral exam taken by my newly found girlfriend. First question given. Baby, what if your ex come here? Would you look at her and speak? So after scratching my head for a good number of times, I gave the best possible answer. Of course not, baby. I will always look at you. Wrong answer. How? That means if I become your ex, you will not look at me at all. Then after marriage, I entered the next biggest exam center. This time there was no exam slots, but only surprise test from my wife in my life. Like, baby, how do you like my food? Sounds simple, right? Don't go by its simple looks. Looks are deceptive. As per a recent survey done by the Global Husbands Association, this is a very volatile question, and one needs to modify the answer with the best possible language to avoid a fourth world war. Because third world war, I always fought while dating. So now I was an experienced and wounded soldier and decided to wear the evaluator hat in a Toastmaster. So I started with the positive things. See, baby, the overall sandwich is good, but outside it is slightly overcooked. The black color on the sandwich, which is there almost everywhere, represents your over emotion, which you need to control. Well, all good things comes to an end like a traffic red light, because red color, if you suddenly observe on your cheek, represents it's time to stop evaluation. Then after a few months of marriage, we will be asked the golden buzzer round question. Now, this question is so important that literally the nation wants to know. Beta, when are you going to show us our grandson or granddaughter? It's like an exam. Only difference, before marriage, this was an out of syllabus question. But after marriage, this was the only question and a goal to be achieved. So the moral of the story is, a wise man who set some industry standard with his report card once said, exam will come in your life in different shapes and sizes. You just need to face it. And that's what we call the experience of life. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sankhya, for such a wonderful speech and taking us through the miraculous phases of life, right from the starting of the first chapter of biology in 8th standard to the question asked by our girlfriends. And now I would like to invite the second speaker. Toastmaster Ankur is someone who believes that we all are stories in making to be told. Because as human, we like stories. We share them and we always want more of them. But before that, I would like to call evaluator Toastmaster Kajal to explain the speech objective. Toastmaster Kajal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sovik. So my target speaker, Toastmaster Ankur, is going to deliver his L4P2 speech. And the timer, please note down, the time limit of the speech is 10 to 15 minutes. And the objective of the speech is the project for the member to practice the skill needs to address the audience challenges when he or she present outside of the Toastmaster Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Sovik.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kajal. The speech title of Toastmaster Ankur is Work From Where? Work from where, Toastmaster Ankur?
Am I audible and visible? A question that we are asking since 2020. Okay, so once I was back in Bangalore after this entire pandemic, my vertical head was wrapping up after a meeting and asked me, Ankur, tell me, what did you learn in this pandemic? Okay, I said I learned a few domestic and professional skills during the last 2 years. I was trying to be very formal. He said, Ankur, you know what I learned? I learned that when you sweep with the dry sweep, you go forward. But when you mop, you go backward. Okay, so nobody has been spared by how you clean the house. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. I am Ankur, and today I'm going to share my thoughts on which one is more preferred, working from home, the remote one, or from office. I had work from home for an year in 2018, so you can be safe assured that I would have covered most points. We'll have a small Q&A session at the end of my speech. The points that I'm making are mostly from my perspective, and you can have a different stand on them completely. If you ask me personally, having no office is better. No office work is better. Okay, not work from home or remote work, nothing. I would prefer nothing. I'm sure we all went house arrest mode after the first lockdown announcement and Modi ji comes and says, we are locking down the entire country, stay at home. And I felt so good for the initial 1 month where I could just wake up and attend stand-up calls without brushing or eat breakfast. Okay. And just directly going and taking a call, keeping everything in mute and video off mode. Nobody had to look at me. Then I started realizing there are some points which I could consider and some points that are not that great. My first point was I could avoid getting stuck in Bangalore traffic, which is a hell to deal with, both to and from that commuting traffic that we have. Getting ready for office, 1 hour gone, having breakfast somewhere, finish it before you reach. And now I had additional 3 hours working remotely. Okay, that I could relax before meetings started. No need to wear formals. You could wear anything, just get into a call. Okay, I thought I could sleep that additional time, but I ended up wasting it on Netflix and Prime and binge watching everything. My second point that I just thought was that I was actually making or saving, not making, saving some money. Okay, financially, I was saving more. There's no fuel. Where would you ride? My area was in red zone. I could not just come out. So, no fuel, no eating out, had to eat at home, no lunch, no after parties, office parties, though I missed them a lot. Okay, but overall, I was somewhere saving up to 15 to 20K monthly as I didn't go out. But the point was, I didn't know what to do with that money also, because you could not spend, you could just buy something, okay, at home for your home decor or some courses. So then I thought, I'm saving something that would come to my next investment that I would do, going on a skill set development maybe. I actually learned how to manage time more effectively in this lockdown than I have learned in my hostel, at my home, in my college, in my entire career. Skills that are used at home, maybe like cleaning, cooking, washing, maybe dusting around the house. Things I took for granted when my maid used to be there, my cook used to be there, or my mom would usually do it at our house, or my sister would do it. Also, with all this free time, I learned to how to play tabla. I got a small ukulele and tabla, and I thought I'll become master. I learned a little to play a few songs here and there, along with some technical certifications which everybody did, which I could normally not do when I was in office. I thought I'll take care of health. It gave an opportunity to everyone, but I did not utilize the most of it. Okay, I thought I'll include this, include that, but nothing I could do. But people had that additional time. I had another point. I would want it to be personal. I think you guys also would have utilized this point. You could have seen it. You could have seen it impact your lives. I could spend a lot of time with my family and friends. We spoke to each other on video calls almost daily. I too played Ludos and online games with everyone. I bonded with my younger cousins and understood what do they do and what helped them with their courses. I did a lot of housework with staying home actually, flat work, paperwork, the carpenter, plumber, electrician, all the works. I mean, they weren't scheduled for weekends anymore. They could happen any day, every day. And then my last point was networking. As see, once I'm in office, I see a lot of projects going here and there, running around me, and conversations happening. As I'm part of the CTO labs, lot of projects will be happening everywhere. Okay, and once you go around, you'll see a lot of different people working on different things. And when we sit together to solve or discuss something that they are facing or I am facing, I used to learn a lot, and people who interact with me also used to learn about maybe other technologies, systems, clients, users, their portfolios. It was basically like case studies on the go. That is something that I totally missed out on when we were working from home. Everybody had their own fixed uh, band of work that they would work around. So 2020, uh, we had office, then it was work from home, then we had hybrid, then again going back from home. this mercurial decisions gave us so many scenarios to compare all these next to each other. Maybe after this April this year, I have come to office and that's on alternate days. And this hybrid environment is what I'm actually enjoying the most, where we enjoy the best of both the worlds. I think this is something which I have tried to enjoy, where I could take some time off for myself. I could schedule calls, but when you're working from home, the entire day is your office day. You can get calls even at 10 a.m. There is no work zone time. I was basically available the whole day. And now I think I can schedule what I want to do in my generic life, a daily weekday and weekend, and I can somehow plan them. So by this, I would want to end my speech.
Ankur, I have a question. Like in case
We are open to any personal.
Ankur, I have a question. In case you are doing so much of work from home, won't it be impacting your eyes?
That's a good question. Correct. It was. I actually did not find it much difficult, because at the end I'm staring at the screen. It didn't matter to us much, because at the end the work is happening on the screen, right? Even if I'm in office or I'm at home. Actually, being at home actually impacted my eyes more, because then I would also be watching a lot of Netflix. In office, at least I don't do that. I could stare somebody at some other point, or work on some paper, or we would go out, look at the water cooler maybe in at least 5 minutes in a day. But when at home, there is nothing that I could do. It was, I think, work from office was better for my eyes than work from home.
Yeah, Ankur, I also have one question. While
Yes,
you
Ash.
while you were in office, there was a fixed timing like 9 to 6 or 2 to 10 fixed time for your work. When the work from home started, suddenly you will get one call at the 12 o'clock in the night or 4 o'clock in the morning or 9 a.m. So it is quite disrupting in our life cycle, all those things. So I don't think that work from home is good for this kind of activities. What's your say on this?
I think, see, that's a trade-off. Now I'm able to clean my bathroom at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, okay, which I could never do on a normal day. There's a trade-off that we are obviously having. I could go and take my bike and get out and get some bread and eggs even at 10 o'clock when I want to have a breakfast, okay, if I don't have a call. But yes, as you said, there is a timeline. Like I have mentioned, I used to get calls scheduled just at 10 o'clock, that we have a call at 10:30. Please join. Okay, and I would be roaming around somewhere. I would think my day is over and all. But then there is another advantage. You have your phones. You could take the Teams call from anywhere. There is a trade-off. Obviously, there's a trade-off. But yeah, there is a higher trade-off that you have to take calls at any. It basically, everybody assumes you are free. If you're working from home, you are free for the entire day. That there is a small trade-off too.
So you are in favor of work from home or against it?
I am in favor of this hybrid work culture, where one day I have a complete day. I somehow, the feeling that I had early in 2020, work from home somehow made me think I've got summer vacation. Okay, and it was at that time. Okay, but somehow it ended soon. But I'm in complete favor of hybrid mode, where if you have work with your colleagues to network, or you have a client visit, then you go. Otherwise, if you can get your work done from home, then you stay back and you can work. I'm in favor of hybrid.
Yeah, Ankur, I have a question. So you mentioned that it felt like a summer vacation. So don't you think it affects the productivity working from home? Like if you are doing things in the middle of the office work, doesn't it like affect your concentration of the office work?
There is a small theory that I heard. It is called Pareto's work law. The law is that if you have a certain amount of work and somebody gives you 1 week to do it, you would take 1 week to do it. If you have 1 day to do it, as an engineer, I would finish it in 1 day. Okay, if I have 1 hour to do it, I would finish 90% at least or 80% in 1 day. So productivity per person, and it depends to person, but yes, I do agree that in office, as everybody is in that work mode, it somehow gives you the feeling that you also have to work and finish your tasks. And if you need help, you get it. You don't have to schedule calls with someone when you're working from home. I partially agree with the point that the productivity is induced into it when you're working from office. But I think we are now more than a year. I have got beaten by my seniors, by my project mates for not coming up with the presentations or with the solutions on time. And I think 2-3 beatings like this have set me up. Okay, I have become equally productive at home too.
Toastmaster Ankur, I have a question.
Yes.
You said that you learn those skills like dusting and all those household skills only during lockdown. So what don't you think that it's your failure to learn all the surviving skills so late at your life? You should be knowing this right from your college days.
Yes, I do agree. See, I come from an all boys hostel. Okay, there nobody minds. Okay, whether your underwear is on the table or on the bed or on in the bathroom hung somewhere, nobody minds. Okay, nobody minds if dusting has been done or dust is not there. Okay, nobody cares if your food plate is clean or not. If you feel hungry, if you want to eat on the untidy plate, you can eat it. I have been in places where 3 people have shared 1 plate for 1 entire day for 3 different meals. Okay. So even when I'm in my bachelor pad, I had no necessity of it. But and I always realized that yeah, maid will come, the cook will come. Yes, it's a failure on my side. I'm not an cleanoholic. I don't mind that if something is untidy, I don't mind it. I'm like, yeah, let it be. There's no problem. We can solve it later. Only when I need to sleep on it, I would probably just the entire shit I would roll and use the half of the bed to sleep. There have been days like that. But when pandemic hits you, you cannot do that every day. Okay. So that is where I understood the importance of dusting, cleaning, and you're alone. Okay. So I was alone. So dusting, cleaning, cooking, and a bit of gardening too. So sometime I saw some videos and understood that keeping green plants in your house and all will make the place feel good and all. So I did that. No, that's an additional burden I got on myself. But once you have a schedule, it works. Yeah, it's a failure that I didn't learn. I had to learn. And now I think I'm in a good sync with the routine.
What kind of plants do you have?
Succulents mostly, which do not require any work to do. And a tulsi plant, just for the chai in the morning. Anybody wants to share any funny stories or any questions?
No, actually, this lockdown helped me to cook better. Previous to this, I did not know how to cook actually. But right now, whether people don't have any other options or they like my cook, somehow they are eating what I'm cooking.
Yeah, actually, lockdown has helped me that my food that I make isn't great. Okay, it has made me realize that a lot of things are edible, and my range of edible this thing has increased because of my own cooking. Okay, if something is undercooked, it's okay, eat it. There's no problem. If it's overcooked, don't worry. There's no problem. Eat it. This is what has happened to me.
I have a general question.
Yes, sure.
You like for most of us, we know that during lockdown, when for me, I'm doing engineering. So what we used to do during our classes, we used to turn off the cameras, and teachers used to give the lectures and used to sleep. And I feel that same used to happen in corporates too. I might be wrong, but if the same thing is happening in corporates, don't you think that it's against your work ethics that you are not doing anything, you're not attending the call like properly, and still you're drawing the salary? So it's, don't you think that's considered cheating?
No, it's not. See, the end goal of corporate job is not to be available online, right? It is to be productive. Finally, your work has to speak and be attentive to calls. That is the job of a job actually that you're doing. So I would say sometimes it's okay if you can shut off your camera or be on mute. That doesn't impact your product. If it doesn't impact your productivity, you're giving your quality work out, it doesn't qualify cheating or it doesn't qualify to be bad. See, at the end, you want a communication to be established and to be on that line. So the purpose of meeting is that technically. So if you are fulfilling all your communication aspects in the purview of that meeting, then it's quite good enough. It doesn't matter whether your camera is on, but when you're speaking and your counterpart is also on camera, it is mostly advisable to have that connect, because he's coming out and putting out himself for that. I mean, he's putting out an effort to come out and show himself and talk. So it would be good to respond like that. Otherwise, it's quite okay to have the camera shut off or mute when you're not talking, when you're not using.
Ankur, I have one question.
Yes, Kajal.
So I have a question, like if you are doing work from home, then you just don't face like, yeah, I have to do some household things. As you said, like I'm doing cleaning, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But when you are in office, then you just doesn't need to do those things. You can just relax. You have to do only focus on your work, and you just have a lunch at cafeteria, or you just like bring your box, then you can have there. So you just don't feel like this is a drawback. So what's your views on this?
Can you rephrase the question one second? I could not get the question.
Okay, so my question is like, as you said, like you are doing work from home, so you have to do some cleaning. You are doing some cleaning, or you are going out to buy something, or means you have to do some household things. So when you were in office, you just doesn't care all these things. You are just focusing on your work, and that's all. So what's your views on this?
Frankly, my mom is an employee, and I never understood how she balanced both the housework and her office work. Okay, till the pandemic actually hit. Okay, people were already doing that. Okay, and some people had it in their routine. It is I was just too spoiled to actually make my own food and go to office and eat it. Once a pandemic hit and I could establish a routine, I understood it just takes you 1 hour of your day. The other time that you are spending in maybe waking up late or reading the newspaper or watching something on Twitter or on TV before you go to office, that could be adjusted to maybe prepare food or get your house clean. So it sort of sets in the routine. Now I don't have a maid, I don't have a cook. It's quite good. So I think we have the timer hit. So I think we can stop the questions if nobody has a pressing question. Yeah. The only takeaway then from my side is from pandemic is that I have understood the importance of mute button. Okay, because lot of times people have just told me, or when I'm speaking in the call, to shut up and go to the room. Then I've understood they are not talking to me. They're talking to their kids, or they're talking to their partners, or they're talking to someone else. Okay, so this is my takeaway from the pandemic, and welcome to the hybrid mode of working. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankur, for your wonderful speech. Now let's come back to the most wonderful session for any meeting, the table topic session. And to conduct the table topic session, we have Toastmaster Anushka. Toastmaster Anushka hails from Bihar. She completed her graduation in chemical engineering from IIT Guwahati, currently working as a product manager in an edtech startup. She likes traveling and reading books in her free time. Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Souvik. So table topics are a generic topic that helps a member to develop the skill of impromptu speaking, and it helps train members to quickly think about some topic, organize their thoughts, and express it. So the table topics generally last for 1 to 2 minutes. So I think, as our timer mentioned, they will be showing a green card at after 1 minute, and a yellow card after 1 minute 30 seconds, and then red card after 2 minutes. There will be extra buffer time of 30 minutes that a member can use. After 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they will be disqualified. So now I request everyone to volunteer for the table topics session. But if we don't have any volunteer, then I will be picking them randomly from the call. So any volunteers? Okay, let me pick someone from my end. Toastmaster Pasha. Yeah, Toastmaster Pasha, will you like to go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just share the table topic with
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Pasha, your topic is, what is your favorite line from a book or a movie?
Okay. So
Toastmaster Pasha, did you hear the topic?
I got it. I got the topic. Just I'm thinking over it. I'm buying some time, ma'am. See, I go with my favorite line is it's it is it's from my own book, No Endo Do Endo. It is on endodontics. So on that book, I have written a quote, a few lines. So my favorite lines are. Success is everything. Success is everything. Winning is everything. So, first, to be a winner, we have to learn. The more we learn, the more we earn. The more we earn, the more we live the life we want to live. So, the financials, we get the ultimate the financial success. Thereby we can live how we want to live. So learning, unlearning, learning are the basic foundation of a good life. So that's why I choose to be a lifelong learner of life. I myself consider I am student of life. So the Toastmaster is a very great platform to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So ever since I joined a Toastmaster, just I joined 3 months back or 4 months back. From that day onwards, changes are coming in my life. I'm totally slowly I am learning new things. New things I am means I am progressing uh, in other sectors also. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Over
Toastmaster.
to you.
Yeah, thank you. Now moving ahead, any volunteers? Okay, I'll pick next Toastmaster Lalita. Toastmaster Lalita, will you like to go next? Okay, so the topic for you is what fruit or vegetable would you want to be if you are given a chance? So, what fruit or vegetable would you want to be? You are on mute. You are on mute, Toastmaster.
Sorry. Okay. So I think I would like to be mango. So because it is rightly called the king of fruits, and I'm very fond of mangoes. And even it is like yellow in color, and that color is really beautiful. So I think because of these reasons, I would like to be that fruit. And also with mango, like you can prepare variety of dishes. It could be related to sweet, or it could be spicy dishes. So because of this, like I would like mango. And I also feel like this mango, it relates to many what do I say, for example, when you say the sunset, when you just see the sunset, the colors of the shades of the sunset, that also reflects the mango color. So I like for that also, because you get few mangoes which are red in color. So I like that as well. And when it comes to the recipe type, like you can do many dishes out of it. It could be like related to rice dishes, or even sweet dishes, like sweet like fruit salads. It can be used in fruit salads, or it could be used in some special desserts. So that's the reason, like I really like mango. And this mango, I think it's a seasonal fruit, and this is available only during a particular season. So I think this is mango season, although I have not tasted any mangoes till now in this season. So I'm just waiting for probably another 10-15 days. I think the mangoes will be up in the market. So because of all these reasons, like I really like this mango. And even when I think of that word mango, that makes me happy because that's a tasty fruit. So because of all these reasons, like I like mango.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalita. I think I love mango too, and eagerly waiting for it to eat that. Hope you eat that soon.
Yeah, that's true.
So now, yeah. So now moving ahead, next Toastmaster Simi, will you like to go next? You are on
Sure.
mute. Okay. So your topic is which is cooler, dinosaurs or dragons?
Okay. Which are cooler, dinosaurs or dragons? It seems to be a contradictory thing. Nothing seems to be a cooler. Like it could be a really dangerous, either dragons or dinosaurs. But I'd say dinosaurs are cooler. Just in case, by what I remember, dragons are the one which really give fires and all, and get to meet anyone. But you have seen those movie, like I hope everyone has seen that How to Train Your Dragons. From that movie, I really feel how they have presented it. Dragons could be cooler, like really cool things too, because how they pictured it, how they have presented each of the characters among the dragons. They are they are different in color, shapes, and size, and creativity. So yeah, so we never know which are really the best ones. So but yeah, hopefully, like from that movie, I like that movie the best. So now just thinking of it as bed dragons could be like, it's like how you imagine those things to be mostly. then you have never heard of them so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sime. Yeah, I think both of those are dangerous, but I think cool to like have those like features at the same time. So now moving ahead, Toastmaster Kajal, will you like to volunteer?
Yes, yes, Anushka.
Yeah, okay. So topic for you is, who was your childhood actor, actress crush?
Okay. In my childhood actor was Salman Khan. When I watched the movie Chori Chori Chupke Chupke, yeah. So the movie I liked, and I like yeah. He was my favorite actor in my childhood when I was fourth or fifth standard, or like yeah, third and fourth standard. And yeah, mostly because on the TV we used to watch his movies only. So like he was my favorite actor. And yeah, along with him, I used to watch Rani Mukherjee, Preeti Zinta, and this Silpa Shetty. These were my favorite actors and actresses in my childhood. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Kajal. It feels nostalgic to remember about those movies of childhood. Now, moving ahead, who would like to go next? Toastmaster, yeah, I think we have a volunteer, Toastmaster Venkatesh. So, your table topic is, if you were famous, what would you be famous for?
If am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible now.
If I want to be famous as a helpful person, like I have seen I am saying so many, means in India we have huge populations, and if you see if you see the difference between rich and poor gap, it is so wide. And and actually my aim is to help each and everyone to means to recover from their like problems like poverty or any other personal problems. And be a kind person. And in recent days, during pandemic, we have seen the actor Sonu Sood, how he helps everyone, means like migrants laborers to reach their home. And we have seen and during pandemic also we have seen so many laborers that coming by their foot, or means or through bicycles, reaching home. And so I want to improve their life. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh. That's wonderful to hear that having those aspirations to be famous as a helpful person. Thanks a lot. And now moving ahead, Toastmaster Ashish, will you like to go next?
Yeah.
Okay. So Toastmaster Ashish, your topic is, what are some of your guilty pleasures?
Thanks, Toastmaster Anushka, for this wonderful topic. When I was a child, I was having great concentration problem, because at that time there was no social network, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube. But as long as I grew up in my life and there entered all these smartphones social networks, all those things. Previously, when I was studying, I was able to study for the stretch of 4 to 5 long hours. And I was great. When I was getting some free time, I was watching different kinds of songs and movies. And I had memorized so many songs during my childhood days. But when it is coming now, I have a loose concentration power. Why? Because of my some guilty pleasures. When I study for 10 to 20 minutes, suddenly I will open the YouTube, or if I will check whether someone pinged me in WhatsApp, or did someone type me in Facebook or in Instagram. That is affecting my concentration power in a huge way. Previously, I was able to memorize a song that was helping me in some way because I was helping myself in improving one of my skills, that's learning songs and singing and participating in Antakshari. But nowadays, I'm feeling like all these guilty pleasures are not taking me anywhere. It is somehow reducing my capabilities, reducing my abilities. And sometimes these kind of guilty pleasures giving me Mercurian behaviors. One time I'll behave like this, and the next time I'll behave in some other way. So I am trying to control my guilty pleasures by going to the traditional way by focusing on meditation. That's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. I think we all have some of our things that we feel guilty about, but we still do it anyway. So now moving ahead, we have a guest today. So Surya, will you like to go next?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So hi Surya. So your topic is what food is underrated or underappreciated? What food do you feel is underrated?
Underappreciated is better than underrated.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Hello. I can't hear you properly.
Yeah, am I audible?
Hello. Wait a minute.
Hello.
என்கிட்ட கேட்கும் அந்த பிரச்சனையே வருதேம்மா.
We can hear you, Surya.
Yeah. So I'll Surya, if you can hear us, I'll just I just posted the topic in the chat. Okay. Okay, we will get back to Surya. I think he's facing some internet issue. Now, moving ahead. Okay. Yeah, Surya, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have I posted the topic on the chat also. So
Yeah, please wait a minute. I will check it over. I left the meeting, so because of that, the message has gone. Has gone out. Network issue happened now.
Yeah, you can reiterate the topic.
Yeah, what topic is underrated or underappreciated from your point of view?
Food.
Yeah.
Hey.
What? Yeah.
Food under I can't because the line is the network issues is again is happening. Sorry.
So basically, what food do you think is not appreciated as much as it should be?
Oh, that's maybe vegetables or a fruit also that will be could happen in that.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Surya. Do you want to add anything else?
No, nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Now,
you. Thank you so much.
And now moving ahead. Toastmaster Diyuman, will you like to go next?
Yes.
Yeah. So your topic is if you could bring back any fashion trend, what would it be?
Okay. If I could bring back any fashion trend. Now, this is a difficult topic. I'm not exactly. I was never so knowledgeable in fashion.
Okay. So
No. I'll speak on it.
Okay.
It reminds me of a movie that I had watched once, where in that movie someone invents a time machine, and a person travels back by about 50 years, and he has some clothes that have the brand Calvin Klein, which did not exist back then when in the time where he travels back. And over there, he meets a girl from that time. And then that girl is speaking with her friends and is wondering about who that guy is. And at one point she says, I think his name is Calvin. That was what was written on his t-shirt. And because she was not, it was from a different time, and she did not know that Calvin Klein would later be the brand of the clothes. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raymond. That was a great coincidence. Now moving ahead, Toastmaster Kaustubh, would you like to go next?
Yes.
Okay. So your topic is, do you think ignorance is bliss?
I just want to say this, okay? That movie which Diyuman was referring to, it's a Michael J. Fox movie, Back to the Future. Okay, I got it out of my system now. That's the movie in which he goes back in time and he's actually running into his own mother, who's a teenager at that point of time. And they get into a very tricky situation where the mother sees the underwear and then it's written on his underwear that it is Calvin Klein. Okay, I think ignorance is a bliss because of this problem, exactly because I knew where that line came from and I had to show off and share with everyone which movie it was that he came up with that line from. Anyways, the reason I argue in favor of ignorance being a bliss is if you are not ignorant and if you have a thirst for knowledge or you have a hunger for learning more about the world, it's a never-ending journey. You will never find the right answers to everything that you're looking for, especially about life and stuff like that. So I've seen and I envy a lot of people who do not have these questions in their life and can go about their daily chores of earthly existence without using their brains, even to a portion of what we are expected to use. The brain is a very big equipment. Okay, we are expected to use only 2% of it, and there are people who go around using 0.001% of it. So I envy those people, and I wish I could be like them, but unfortunately I am not, and that is something I will have to live with and suffer for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaustubh. Now, moving ahead, Toastmaster Saurav, will you like to go next?
Yeah, please. Sure. Thank you.
So your topic is, if aliens landed on Earth tomorrow and offered to take you home with them, would you go?
Okay, I don't know what made you feel that I don't belong to Earth, but and I don't even know if that's a compliment or that's a ridicule. But I'll take it as a compliment. Probably I look too good to be a human, and that's why you would probably want me to go back to Mars from where I've come, because as they say, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So yeah, if the aliens want me to take back to Mars, I would definitely want to go to Mars with the very sole intention of starting a Toastmaster club there. Okay, because now that we have so much of problems on earth, finding members, retaining members, opening new clubs, every district, every region, every area, every division is struggling with, how do you retain members? How do you, starting something of a novelty there, that would be a good idea, I guess. So I can be the, today when we start a Toastmaster meeting, we say, in 1924, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley started one Toastmaster club in YMCA, and now that is 16,000 clubs across the world. Imagine someone in Mars, 50 years down the line, or 100 years down the line, say, Dr. Saurav Kumar Datta, maybe not doctor, so Toastmaster Saurav Datta started a Toastmaster club in Mars for the very first time, and one small club went across and made so many Toastmasters club across the planet. I mean, imagine the joy of it. I'll be like, like what Dr. Ralph C. Smedley is for Earth, I will be for Mars. Yeah. So with the only understanding that I will have with them is that you will have to let me open a Toastmaster Club 1 there, and then after that you'll allow me to spread the vibes, this positive vibes. Because but one struggle could be about the language, because I do not know what kind of language they speak in Mars. As long as they have one singular language, then it's fine, but then I'll have to learn it. So there will be some challenges, right, in terms of the language, in terms of the whether they would be able to understand the Toastmaster protocols well, whether I'll have enough members to start the clubs with, whether there will be enough people keen to be officers. There are several challenges, but then as club officers, we know how to fight those challenges, right? It's the same thing in Earth as well, so it's nothing different. So yeah, so I will definitely want to go back with them and start a Toastmaster fraternity all over again. And then I'll definitely invite you also there, Anushka. You can join us there in one of our club meetings as a guest, and I'll be the TTM and I'll give you a topic where I'll say, if the aliens wanted to take you back to Earth, would you go? And you'll say, hell no, I won't. Back to you, Anushka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav. I would definitely love to join there as a guest. And now moving ahead, any volunteers or even Toastmaster Velavan, you can also volunteer, or someone else can note the timings for you.
Yes, sure. I can be the timer.
Okay. Okay. So your table topic is, what is the weirdest food you have ever eaten?
Okay, so the weirdest food I've eaten is a fruit. Somewhere in Southeast Asia. It's called, it's locally called Duran, I guess. So the taste is very weird, like it tastes sweet, but at the same time bitter, and kind of smells also very, very awkward. I couldn't eat just more than a few pieces. I gave it to my friend, and also he also felt the same. And I found this fruit online sometime before I visited the place. I really wanted to give it a try. So I found one while I was traveling in a scooter on the roadside. So I told to my friend, okay, this is the fruit I was talking about. So let's try this fruit. And we went to the shopkeeper, and we ordered some couple of fruits, and we felt the same. Like, it was worse than I expected. It was like the most weirdest food I've had so far. I think I would like to end there.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thanks for giving us a heads up. How does this food taste like? We will keep this in mind. And now moving ahead, Toastmaster Sankhya, would you like to go next?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the topic for you is, what movie is underrated or underappreciated?
I'm not a movie fan, actually. I don't watch movies. Okay. Okay, so there are a lot of movies in the Bollywood, in the Hollywood, in the Tollywood, which sometimes they give us they're supposed to give a very good kick or a very good creative ideas, but at the end, the public doesn't really appreciate that one. What we name at him as the commercial success, well, the commercial success doesn't go hand in hand with them. So there was this movie about Ajay Devgan and Kajol, wherein they were a family. They showed up as a family bonding, and the movie was great, the fantastic movie. And what we come out from the movie was a lot of appreciation, because it gives a lot of time for the couples who went to the movie show to get the popcorns and for their other extracurricular activities. So those are the type of movies which are really underappreciated, because when we appreciate, we only appreciate that how the movie only like fizzled out in the box office, but we should also consider that if the movie has really succeeded in terms of its other propaganda as well. Over to you, Anushka.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yep.
Toastmaster.
And for Sankhya, Saurav had given a good suggestion.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So moving ahead, I think Toastmasters Souvik, will you like to go next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the topic for you is what historical period would be the best to be born in?
Thank you so much for giving this topic. If I were given a chance to be born in a historical period, I would definitely born on that period when the revolution for the independence of our own country was going on. So I could do something for my country that people from future could remember me, like how we remember Shahid Bhagat Singh and all those martyrs who gave up their life for our country. Nowadays, we take freedom very granted. We don't seem to be that much cared. We pollute our country. We fight with people. We have so much religious fight that's taking place. But we should remember that all the freedom that we have gotten had come because someone had gave up their life. And also, I belong from an army background, so freedom is very valuable. You don't get freedom because you don't get freedom easily. Someone somewhere sometimes ago have given up their life. So if I have given the chance, definitely I would have born during that 1900 to 1950 time, where I could have worked for my country and bring that revolution. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Souvik. That's a wonderful thought. That's true that currently we take our independence for granted. So that is with this, I would like to close.
We have one more topic, because I think Ankur is on the
Sorry, Toastmaster Ashish, can you repeat? I couldn't hear you.
I think speaker 2 Ankur is on the remaining person who has not given on the table.
Yeah, I can go ahead if there is a topic.
Yeah. So, Toastmaster Ankur, your table topic is who is the funniest person in your family? or you can consider friend also, a friend or family. Who do you think is the funniest person?
Okay. So the funniest person in my family unintentionally is my grandmother. Okay. See, I think she has reached the age where she doesn't have to worry about anything. Okay, she only has to worry about whether the food is being served on time, her puja is being done properly on time, and the serials are coming on TV or not. Okay. Okay, so right now she has nothing to do. Frankly, she basically chills in the house, and the only thing she does is comment on what Modi is doing. Okay. Okay, she'll tell you what is wrong with global politics. She will tell you what is wrong with house politics. She'll tell you what is the issue, what we are not able to comprehend in our apartment. Okay, so she'll present lot of conspiracy theories, and even she knows she's conscious of it, but she will put in effort to understand what is happening in the apartment maid society, in the neighbors thing, and she'll tell you all the gossip. She'll listen, and she'll make the entire story funny and present it to you. Like one day after call, I came out and she told me, "Do you know that there is an affair going between our neighbor's dog and the watchman's another dog that he is feeding? Or, I mean, he's feeding her." So like, how do you come to such news like that? So like, what do I do? I sit in the balcony, sip tea, and look down. Okay, she is our basically surveillance camera of our society. I think we should. I mean, and she'll come up with so many funny stories and stuff. Okay, we don't need anybody else. I don't watch any other stand up. Once I get out of the room, I speak to her for 10-15 minutes. She'll come up with so many stories, so many funny things that, I mean, and that is very organic. That is built around my ecosystem. Because I think my grandma is the most funniest person I've met unintentionally, but the effort from her comes out genuinely. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur. I can totally resonate with that. Thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts. Thank you everyone for participating actively in the table topic session. So with this, I'd like to close the this table topic session, and over to you, Toastmaster Souvik.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anushka, for conducting such an amazing table topic sessions. All the topics were very different from each other, and that made the table topic session more interesting. Not all the speaking part is done. Now we'll be coming to the evaluation part, and to evaluate, I would like to call upon the general evaluator, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Souvik. So let me start with the evaluation round. But before I invite the project evaluators, let me. I'm just not able to resist myself. Like Kaustav got that movie name out of his system. I need to also get one story out of my system, which is about durian, the fruit that Velavan talked about, right? So my interaction with durian happened in Singapore first, and then in Thailand. And just so that you know how unique this food is not allowed in the elevators. This food is not allowed as a cabin baggage inside the flight. And if you really need to take durian as a checked-in baggage, you need to declare in advance. You have to put it in a special kind of a box, and then you can only take it. So that's how dangerous this fruit is. There are only two kind of people in the world who have tasted durian. One who have had it once and they said never again, and the other who said that they had it once and said nothing else again. Right? So there are only two kind of people in the world. You can either love durian or you can hate it. A lot of people say that I'm like durian. You can either love me or hate me. There's nothing in between. So anyways, so my experience with durian happened when my boss, he went to Mexico and he got me a packet of lollipops, okay, and he gave it to me and I took that and I tasted it, and one of that was, and it was actually durian flavored lollipop. Trust me, for the next 1 week, whatever I had, whichever cuisine, it all tasted like durian. And there is nothing, it's like stinky to the core, and you just can't get that taste out of your system. It's that awful. If anyone has had it, like Velavan or me, otherwise you will never get it, but you should at least try once, and then after that your dieting will be very natural. You can't eat anything else for 1 week. Trust me, it's that bad. Okay, so let me now invite the project evaluators first. So evaluating our first speaker, one of my most favorite evaluators of District 92, an iconic Toastmaster of District 92, Toastmaster Kaustav Rajendran. The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. That fruit also has a distinct smell, right? You have to get past the smell before you can put it in your
That is the reason that it's not allowed anywhere. That smell is like...
Okay. All right, coming to Shanko. Shanko, this was your attempt to find out your own style of humor. And there are a few things that I noticed which will help you identify your style. And I have two recommendations. So the style of humor that I saw today. The first one that I noticed is your ability to anthropomorphize. Anthropomorphize is the word for giving human characteristics to an object or a abstract thing. That's what you did. You personified mathematics and made it do conversation. So a lot of things come forward when you do that conversation, right? It makes laying out the ideas easier when you make an object a thing. So that's one of the styles that I noticed. You made good use of anthropomorphizing. The second one was you had a good mixture of role play, word play, and vocal play. You were good with dialogues. You juggled words around to bring out humor, and you also did role plays. Now, my attempt was to find out which one you did better than the others. I think the one that I preferred least was the vocal variety one, because you could get away with it with the short dialogues that you had. If you are to do longer dialogues, you may not be successful with it. So just make a note of that. You did very well with role play. They were not overbearing. But the best thing was the wordplay, because you have a good command over diction. It comes out exactly how you planned it. So wordplay will probably become a good trait of yours when you want to pursue humor. Now, those are the things that will help you take this journey forward. The two things that I wanted you to focus on. First one is that while it is true that most of your jokes will not work with most of the people, right? That is a bane you have to put up with. Everything will not work with everyone. Now, some of them did not work with me either. I did not understand the humor in that, but that's not your problem, my problem. One of the things that did not appeal to me was the opening, the connection with Achyutan. Right? I could not work out the connection. It's not that the connection is not there. It's just that the way you put it across was not enough for somebody like me to understand the connection. It's very important not to miss the opening. So just make sure you put extra effort into it more than the others so that the opening is clear to everyone, because if we are not, then that's a huge disconnect you have to live through the entire speech. Also, one of the things that misled me was the title of your speech, which was The Examination. But you had many examinations. So one mishap that happened was that when you gave me a single examination topic, I was looking for one examination, whereas you had multiple. So it took me a moment to realize that he's going through all the questions in life, right? Different phases. So it's very important to keep that central theme running all along and occasionally connect back to it through your speech so that people know where is this guy really going. So what worked against you was the opening fell apart for me, and the central theme, I took it a little time to understand. So next time, make sure of those two things, and otherwise, with a good mixture of vocal play, role play, and word play, you will pull it off. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kaustav. I'll reserve my comments till we hear the evaluation of our second speaker, and the evaluation for the second speaker will be done by by Toastmaster Kajal. Toastmaster Kajal, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. So today I'm evaluating Toastmaster Ankur's speech. So I'm honored and thrilled to be evaluating his L4P2 speech. So Toastmaster Ankur, first I'll say let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Ankur. So he gave a very remarkable, miraculous speech. And I really enjoyed his speech, how he came with the pre-COVID and the post-COVID things, how he relate his experience. He used to stuck in the traffic before COVID in the Bangalore traffic. It's very hard to be reaching the office and post COVID, how he enjoyed his time to to joining the meetings on Teams and doing household things and playing games with his siblings. So the journey he explained pre-COVID and post-COVID, it was really humorous and good and was very exciting. So, and Toastmaster Ankur, when he started his speech, was not that means connecting me well. And in his whole speech, there was like he was calm and he was very, and he taken enough exon in his whole speech, so it shows that he's a confident and he's an expert and experienced speaker as he's giving his L4P2 speech today. And some recommendation I have in his speech, like he had a good hand movements, but I couldn't see his hand movements properly because his virtually setup was not well. So I would recommend speaker could have a proper virtual setup so that they can showcase their body movements, hand movements, and that will boost their confidence and engage the confidence, engaging the confidence in the audience. So this is my recommendation. And his icon, and he was nodding his head too much in the speech in the beginning. Later on, he just like managed it. And I really like the way he just answered all the audience questions. At the one time when he was just stuck, like, yeah, he was getting conquered with the audience question. At the another time, like he was like getting contradict with his first answer, what he just replied, yeah, I like work from home. And the other time when the second audience have asked the question, then he was saying, yeah, I like hybrid. So the difficulty, as his objective is manage difficulties of the audience, so he managed well the difficulties that he faced in his speech. And he met the objective of his speech. And yes, so there are recommendations that camera was taking a bit in the beginning in his speech, and virtual setup can be improved. And yeah, and his body language and the way he was explaining his speech, then that can be with intense and with the emotion, so that can add little bit of dramatic in the drama in the speech. So these are my few recommendations that can take his speech to the next level. So thanks a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you so much. Two different kind of speeches, two different kind of evaluations. So coming first to the first evaluator. So this is what I really like about evaluators who have spent a good amount of time in Toastmaster, because their evaluation is always very clinical, very, very clinical, and they go really deep in terms of finding certain things in the speech, the way it has been delivered, either in terms of the content or in terms of the delivery or the language, which the speaker will definitely miss. And I think that's exactly what Toastmaster Kaustav does that all the time, and today was no exception. I'm pretty sure this entire thing the feedback that he gave to Toastmaster Sankhya about anthropomorphism, that's something that was a new realization or a new understanding. That's a moment of epiphany, right? All the speakers look for. Like today, Toastmaster Shankho walked back with something which is worth taking a note of. Just one thing I would disagree with Toastmaster Kaustav is that when he said that it's not a you problem, it's a me problem. I would say no, it's a Shankho problem and not a Kaustav problem, because it is the responsibility of the speaker, particularly in humor, to ensure that the audience is able to connect with the humor. So if the audience or the majority of the audience is not connecting with humor, then humor falls flat. If you take Johnny Lever to a English pub in London, and you say, okay, your jokes did not crack with me, that's your problem, not my problem, then that's not really acceptable. I think that's where we have to understand, particularly Shankho, because this is your home club, so you know the audience. So if it was a different club, I could have understood that some of the jokes did not connect because you don't know audience well enough. But here you knew the audience well enough. So probably that is one thing that but I really liked one thing, Shankar. I've been seeing you speaking, and one type of humor which I've seen come very naturally to you is slapstick humor. You make a lot of actions and a lot of gestures, which kind of brings in that smile or the engagement of the audience. Today you tried a different genre altogether, so that was perfect. And now coming to the second evaluator, so the project objective guidelines very clearly says that you have to focus on the disruption, not on the speech. Unfortunately, 3/4 of your evaluation was on the speech, right? And it is very clearly mentioned. If you look at the project evaluation resource, Toastmaster Kajal, it very clearly mentions focus on the disruption, the way the speaker was handling disruption, and not on the speech. So this is a very important project from the perspective of handling disruption. And I think I have never seen a gentler disruptive audience in my entire life. People were very polite when they're disrupting. They were as if like, may I have your permission, Toastmaster Ankur, to disrupt your speech? See, this project is the closest that you get to real life, where people are really nasty. And then they would want to put you down. They would ask questions knowing fully well you will not be able to answer it. They want you to look bad in the stage, because if you're looking bad, then the next time that opportunity comes up, they will be up there and not you. So that's the kind of expectations that people have when they ask questions. They don't ask questions with the intention of knowing anything, but putting you down, right? So that's the intention of this project. And none of your disruptors were like that. So I feel that this project has to be done in a much more aggressive setting, where you need to tell your disruptors, please come and spoil my speech. That should be the only thing you should tell them. I have seen people doing all kind of nasty things. This particular project, it was attempted in my club once, and I was one of the disruptor, and the project was on change management. So I just unmuted myself and said, Toastmaster Akanksha, I really like your perspective on change management, but I have a different kind of a problem. So when I go to buy something and the shopkeepers don't have change, they give me toffees and lozenges and all that. Now, what do I do with so much of toffees and lozenges? How can we convince them not to give me toffees and lozenges and rather give actual currency? That is the kind of problem that I did. And she didn't know whether she should laugh, that she should go off camera, whether she should answer my question. That is the level of disruption you would expect. I remember in another club I saw, one girl constantly kept on unmuting herself, and there was a dog barking. Every time the dog barked, she would unmute herself. That's the reality. That's what happens, right? That is the disruption that you need to deal with. So think about this. If you would want to do this once more with some very solid, some very aggressive disruption coming your way, because this is one project that you need to really learn well, my friend. With this, let's have a big round of applause for both the speakers and the evaluators for a very fantastic speech and an evaluation session. Now, before coming into the overall meeting and the other role takers, let me invite the tag team. So, Toastmaster Villavan, can we have the timing report, please?
Just a minute. So Ankur's speech was about 7 minutes and 35 seconds, and I didn't count the timer after that, so I made a mistake on that one. So for the table topics, Mr. Pasha's timing was 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Lalita's timing was 1 minute and 50 seconds. Simi's was 1 minute and 28 seconds. Kajal's 50 seconds. Venkatesh was 1 minute and 24 seconds. Ashish was 2 minutes. Surya was 10 seconds. Bhuman was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Kaustubh was 1 minute and 35 seconds. Saurav was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Sankhya's was 1 minute and 25 seconds. Sauvik was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Ankur was 1 minute and 58 seconds. For the individual evaluation, Kaustubh was 3 minutes. And Kajal was 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Villavan. Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Villavan? Apart from both of us having tasted durian, there is one other same pinch with you, Villavan. You smile very less, just like me.
I know.
Probably you can smile a little bit more. so that it makes the मैं समय हूँ वाला impression नहीं आएगा. Okay. Yeah, but apart from that, fantastic job as a timekeeper, and I really appreciate you doing this role today. Coming to the next member on my tag team, Toastmaster Duman as the R counter. Can we have your R counter report, please?
So during the meeting today, during the prepared speeches, there was I did not notice any clutch words or pauses. During the table topics, there was the toast table topic master Anushka with 7 and 2 so. The rest of the speakers were TM Pasha, 3 pauses, Toastmaster Lalita, 4 arms and 3 so, Toastmaster Simi with 2 Toastmaster Kajal with 1 TM Venkatesh with 2 TM Shanko with 2 and 3 ands. And during the evaluation, there was TM Saurav with 1 and TM Kajal with 4 arms. For the rest, I didn't notice any other clutch words. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Duman. It's a very good and crisp report. But I would really appreciate if next time you are considering using some kind of a visual aid, because remembering so many A's and Ums, and also the overall meeting, how was the usage of A's and Ums and the other clutch words. Can we now have our grammarian, Toastmaster Simi, present?
Hello, Toastmasters. For the grammarian report, the word of the day, mercurial, is used by 3 people: Toastmaster Souvik, Toastmaster Ankur, and Toastmaster Ashish. Few of the news which we might have learned from today's meeting are Orodic, slapstick, deceptive, then anthropomorphize. Some of the misuses which I noted is in one of the mentioning of the objective of the speech, there were lots of the used. One time there was a uses of heat ekana, it could be heat uka. There is one usage, doesn't it affect your productivity? It could be in a question form, like does it affect your productivity, or in a negation, won't it affect your productivity? Another few of the things I'd like to mention, which I found it a good usage, is comparing with something. First is flew along with Vijay Mallya, golden buzzer round, and in one of their speech, it was like comparison of like just showing how when we move forward while sweep you move forward, and how you move backward while mopping. Yeah, this is the report from the grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Simi, for a very good report. What I really liked about your word of the day today is that it's a word which is very easily pronounceable, and it's a good word. Mercurial, it's something that we don't we generally use frequent changes. So mercurial changes is probably a better way of expressing when the change is not frequent but is happening very often, probably off late. So mercurial frequent is more like something which is more long standing. Mercurial is something which is more transition in terms of changes. Like a good example of mercurial changes could be during demonetization. The government policies were mercurial. There were mercurial changes happening in the government policies, right? So I think that could be one example. So nothing against Modi. My examples may relate back to him, just like Ankur's grandmother. But trust me, there's nothing against him. Okay, so I really like that. Let me now move on to the overall meeting and the evaluation of some of the major role takers. So let me start with the Sergeant at Arms. A good start to the meeting. The meeting started on time, hand it over to the presiding officer. Sankhya is always in charge, and Ashish is always in charge, and he's always that very dedicated person. He always comes across as someone who's very diligent, and that is very clear when he's doing the presiding officer's address. After that, he handed over to Souvik. Souvik had some very good information and a very productive meeting, in the sense when the TMOD has something to share in terms of learnings and taking back home. The only recommendation for you, Souvik, would be if you can add a little bit of more interactions with the audience rather than you just making it a one-way conversation, because whenever the TMOD is having a to and fro conversation, the audience is more engaged, right? At the end of the day, that's your intent, to keep the audience engaged throughout the meeting, right? So I think that's one thing which you can take into consideration. Coming to our table topic master, fantastic selection of topics. And you know what is one of the good things about attending a meeting with less number of participants is that everyone gets a chance to speak in table topics, right? And today it's exactly what happened. Just because I'm a role taker, I don't get to speak. That's not being fair on me. If I love to be a table topic speaker as well. On the other hand, if I'm not a role taker and I'm not even get a chance to speaking, that's also not fair on the other person. So you kind of brought in everyone, you got everyone to speak, but you don't get the credit for that. The credit goes to the people attending in the numbers that is manageable, but still it's okay. Just one recommendation for you is that when you are a couple of things I would want to suggest, not one. So the first is that those slides were not adding any value, to be very honest. You could have just taken those topics, and if anything, you could have put it on chat. So I don't know why you were putting them on slide. That's one. The second thing is increase your energy level a little bit and keep it constant. Your energy level was going up and down depending on how well the speaker was speaking, right? So remember, if the speakers, if someone like Kaustav is speaking and your energy level goes up, and then someone like me is speaking, your energy level goes down, then I will feel bad, right? And next time I will not want to speak. So you have to keep your energy level at the same level, irrespective of how the speaker is performing. Then you offered to change topics, and the speaker said that, like, when Duman was speaking, he said, no, let me change the topic. But why would you change the topic, right? He is not aware of fashion. It's a good place for him to start getting aware of fashion. Why are you taking the chance away from him, right? So let him speak on that, whatever he is not comfortable with as well. And the other thing is that about there was some issue with Surya's connection, right? And you were being very patient with him. Well, I appreciate being that, but remember that the flow of the meeting will get lost if we are spending too much of time trying to bring a speaker back to action because of network issues, right? The rest of the people will start losing interest, and you may see a few people dropping out or losing interest in the meeting. So tell him that, okay, we'll come back to you in some time if your network gets better, and move on to the next speaker, rather than keeping on pushing him. Okay, try once more. So that's what was happening. Beyond a point, it starts getting a little irritating. Overall, I think it was a fantastic meeting from the beginning till the end. Wonderful set of evaluations, wonderful set of speeches, great table topics. Everyone attempted very well. Some very nice stories that came up during the table topics, and some very nice humor which came up during table topics. Everyone had a dose of humor. Almost everyone had a good dose of humor when they spoke. And I seriously, that's the cutest grandmother that you have, Ankur. So tell her a lot of love from Speakers Den and from the general evaluator of the meeting today. Signing off as the GE report. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurav, for evaluating the meeting. It is a pleasure to have you in this meeting. Can you hear a round of applause for the GE? Now, I would like to share the meeting link. If the meeting link will be shared on the chat box, please make sure that you vote.
Voting link.
Voting link. With this, I would like to hand over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Ashish.
Yeah, thank you, Souvik, for conducting this meeting in a great way. So I just want to ask one question. How is the Joes?
Hi, sir.
For me, it is high, not because of some substances. It is because of the quality of the meeting and the all role takers, how they carried out their roles. Because each member brought out some new objectives, some new traits to learn and improve ourselves. That is the beauty of Toastmasters. And I request everyone to cast your votes so that it will help us to identify the good role takers for today's good speakers, good evaluators in today's meeting. While we are casting our votes, let me request if anyone wants to share their feedbacks about how was today's meeting, and in which all areas we can improve ourselves. I want to ask Ankur about his feedback for today's meeting.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear.
Yeah, I always like a full packed audience, and that on a Sunday specifically. Okay, I understand everybody has to go for their Sunday brunches, lunches, plans, and all, but I really appreciate a full house on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I love the energy of the club. It was really good, and I like the energy that everybody had. It wasn't just surrounded in one point. It was spread across every member, and I love the entire ambience, I would say, of the club. I would want to be back here again for another speech.
Thank you, Arun. We are happy to host you again. And I would like to take our feedbacks of our newly integrated members, Toastmaster Velavan and Toastmaster Venkatesh. So Toastmaster Velavan, would you want to share your feedback about how your journey as a member?
Yeah, so today is the first day of my membership here. So this is I have attended a guest as a guest a couple of months back. So this was the first one. So today I've taken the role of a timekeeper. So I was like a bit lost when I was about to start the timer. So I was not aware like whose speech is what. So I lost in the beginning. I couldn't keep the time. So if somebody had given a heads up, okay, this is the speech which is you are supposed to keep time for, I could have done that. So maybe it's just me that I was caught unaware. Like maybe next time I could do that better.
Thank you, Velavan. From your today's what you told, I remembered one of Mahesh Babu's dialogue: "Success is not the journey; success is the destination." We need to success is not the destination. Success is the journey, and we need to enjoy the journey. Today you might make the mistake, but from next time onwards, this will help you to take this role and do it in a better way.
Thank you.
And Toastmaster Velavan, would you Toastmaster Venkatesh, would you like to share your feedback? Sorry, Venkatesh. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Today is my first as a member in Toastmaster Club, and in coming weeks, I like to speak, means giving more time to speak, and I like to involve more with Toastmaster members. And before I speak, I like to organize thoughts and I'd like to improve means each week more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Venkatesh. Surely, once you keep attending meetings, and then it will surely help you to connect all your points and connect all your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
And Simi, are we ready with the report?
Yes.
Would you like to share the screen?
Yeah. We have received about 11. Oops, I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, we can see. So the best role taker one, it goes to Toastmaster Saurabh as the general evaluator.
Thank you.
And for the best role taker two, between the timer, accounter, and grammarian, it goes to Toastmaster Human as an accounter. And for the best speaker, it goes to Toastmaster Sankhya. And for the best evaluator, it goes to Toastmaster Kostak. And for the best table topic, it's again Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the winners, and thank you for all for your participation in our meeting. Like in every house, there is one important member who are responsible for conducting the business of the house. It may be your father, it may be your mother, all the elder person. Similarly, in a club meeting, to make it more productive, to take your club to the next height, we need club officers. And our club election is going to happen on 12th of June. So for those role takers, to take care of that additional responsibility in your life and improve your leadership skills, I request all of the members to nominate themselves for different kinds of positions in our club. And we will share all the details shortly in our WhatsApp group. With that, let me close today's meeting.
Ashish, sorry, I just want to make a comment as a general evaluator, because I'm supposed to evaluate the meeting from the beginning till the end, but it happens somewhere towards the end, right? So one feedback from my side is not to share the actual breakup of percentages of the results, because it does not leave a good feeling with if there are two speakers, one person is getting all the votes, the other person gets no vote. So it's always better to just announce the name of the winner rather than sharing the actual split of votes. That's my recommendation. Please do consider if that makes sense, then please implement that. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, we'll include that one. Because last time what was happening, we were trying to share the names, but some people told that we want to know how much percentage we are getting. Yeah, we can share them personally if someone asks.
You can personally
we can share
them.
that personally if someone asks.
Because I have seen people get seriously demotivated when they see that, okay, out of the 100 vote, 15 votes that was cast, I got not even a single one. That doesn't leave them with a good feeling. I've been through it myself. So
I can understand. Yeah, I understand. That's a nice idea. We will surely implement this from next meeting onwards. So with this, I would like to close this meeting with a wonderful gesture suggested by Toastmaster Costa. So we can probably someone can take a snapshot with all these gestures from all members.
Yeah,
I request everyone to keep on camera with these gestures.
See me, Surya, if you can switch on your camera just for 2 seconds. Okay, it's 5, 4, 2, 3, 1, 0. Yay! Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a lovely
Thank you,
day.
everyone. Have a great
See you at the
day.
coronation. See you at the coronation. Please do come
Yes,
to
yeah.
coronation today.
Yeah.
Bye.
It will start shortly.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.